You're watching CW Montana. This is the MTN 9 o'clock news.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. I'm Andrea Lutz. Ahead tonight, the man accused of driving drunk through a home in Kalispell and killing a 15-year-old girl has his day in court, and we'll have the details about what happened. Plus, new details on an attempted robbery in Bozeman over the weekend. This ordeal shut down a busy Bozeman street for hours. But first, new details tonight on a deadly boat crash on Holter Lake. That crash killed a 61-year-old man visiting Montana, along with injuring 5 other people. And continuing our coverage tonight with more information is MTN's Evelyn Schultz. She joins us from Helena.
Andrea, tonight there are still many questions about what caused the crash. We have learned this group was part of an outfitting guide and took off in 3 boats. That company hasn't yet been named. We've also learned the man who died wasn't wearing a life jacket. But we do know that as Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks continue to investigate, they say blowing snow and windy conditions on the lake hindered the rescue and likely contributed to the crash. Authorities were called just before 10 a.m. Sunday to the gates of the mountain marina. The boats are believed to have been traveling too close together when 2 of the 3 boats capsized. 5 other people were rescued and taken to the hospital. Sheriff Coroner Leo Dutton identified the man as 63-year-old Craig Brissell of Pacific, Missouri. Again, Dutton said Brissell wasn't wearing a life jacket. In Helena, Evelyn Schultz, MTN News.
All right, thanks, Evie, for that. It was an attempted robbery involving explosives, arson, and a fake shooting this weekend. All of that happening in Bozeman. Well, today, the suspect in that ordeal appeared in court. MTN's Cody Boyer brings us the details.
Kind of blows me away that anything would happen to this magnitude.
According to court documents, witnesses saw Jacob Burnett lighting a bottle on fire outside, then running in, demanding money. He then ran again.
We just kind of looked at each other and we said, I think we should get out of here.
Cindy Sayawasink was helping customers and preparing flowers for prom at her flower shop immediately next door.
We kind of locked our doors, make sure no one can come in that we didn't want to come in.
Businesses like Budget Bouquet around the casino were evacuated by police. Those working inside say the sight of panic through their front door window was not one they expected.
There was panic in the people that were out in the parking lot, the workers, and you could just tell it was a hustle bustle.
Police say they found a cologne bottle with a gasoline-soaked wick on the casino's counter and over $1,500 in fire damage. They also found a safe, moved but not opened. After a Gallatin County Sheriff's deputy found Burnett's car parked nearby, other deputies surrounded Burnett and arrested him. Court documents show that according to Burnett's wife, Burnett, quote, wanted to rob a casino in a similar fashion as his father had robbed a casino, by creating a diversion nearby the casino and then committing the robbery.
And luckily it didn't go any further, but it just really odd.
Michael Churchill works near the casino too. He says police, including the Lewis and Clark bomb squad, worked quickly.
Really good to see that the police were on it and they had things directed in the right direction.
No one was hurt, and Burnett is now facing a possibility of over 80 years in prison if convicted on all charges. Mindy Stofflet, owner of Rethink Thrift across the road, says this was a situation no one along Huffine wants to get close to again.
Especially with that explosive. I mean, it's getting real. We just need to be more cautious.
All right, and police say that Burnett was high on meth at the time, and they did find some of that drug in his car when they found him. A Kalispell man accused of crashing into a house and killing a teenager while she slept remains in jail tonight on a $50,000 bond. 31-year-old Jared Parsons appeared in Flathead County Court to face vehicular homicide charges. And police say Parsons was drunk last Friday when he drove his pickup into a house on Spring Creek Drive. 15-year-old Aaron Hauk died in the crash. Parsons could face up to 30 years in prison. Well, tonight, a Columbia Falls greenhouse and nursery is rallying behind that family, the family of 15-year-old Aaron Hauk, just days after her death. MTN's Marin Sue shows us how.
Erin had the most infectious smile. She is got to be one of the sweetest girls you've ever met.
This is how Angie Olson remembers 15-year-old Erin Hauk. Olson met Erin and her mother Brittany last year when Brittany started working at Angie's greenhouse. Last Friday, we lost Erin's infectious smile when 31-year-old Jared Parsons drove drunk into her home in the middle of the night, killing her while she slept. Parsons is being held without bond on pending vehicular negligent homicide, failure to remain at the scene, and driving while suspended on charges. Learning of this tragedy, Olson took action to support the Hauks, establishing a fundraiser for May 8th.
20% of our proceeds that day will go to Brittany and her family. My employees are donating their wages for the day.
A GoFundMe campaign is established to help cover funeral expenses, and employees at Angie's greenhouse are showing their support by sporting gold ribbons. And Brittany tells me why her daughter loved the color gold.
The Outsiders is required reading for all junior high students, and she was enamored and totally like nutso about it for quite a while, and still kind of was. So it's "Stay Gold, Pony Boy" is one of the quotes from the movie and the book. So she's all about that.
While there's nowhere on my vehicle I can put the golden ribbon I was given in honor of Erin, I decided to put it on my camera bag. That way I have it with me wherever I go. Hauk is astounded at the amount of community support she's received.
It goes to show how amazing we really are, and it means a ton to me.
Angie's greenhouse plans on another fundraiser, a spaghetti dinner for the Hauks on June 8th. In Columbia Falls, I'm Marin Sue, MTN News.
What a community that is. Well, new details tonight say the student who fired a gun out of a window of a University of Montana dorm was highly intoxicated when the incident happened. The male was brought in to campus police by his mother, and there he admitted to police he did fire that gun. The student said he borrowed the gun from a friend. Police found casings, but no gun after they searched the dorm room. Months after copper wire was cut from dozens of Billings street lights, costing taxpayers thousands in repairs, police have identified a suspect. They cited Damian Abashan after he was seen on video stealing copper wire from light poles in Billings, and police found him with a backpack filled with copper wire. Well, a crime such as this is raising new questions about how thieves make money off stolen copper wire. Tonight, we're talking to a local recycler to get a better idea.
Like I-beams or tubing or rebar.
Crunching, smashing.
This machine's running, that one's running.
All of this just another day at Pacific Steel's recycling yard.
It's kind of a fun place.
Jason Heath shows me it all.
Most days.
But of all the things people bring in to recycle,
copper's the higher valued commodity, so that's one people are probably going to choose to go after most.
A commodity valued to thieves, so he watches for something he calls.
That's a pretty big red flag. So if somebody would bring in a spool of something like this, that's not a contractor, that's an immediate red flag to us.
It's usually stolen from construction sites and downtown buildings, most recently taken from the light poles of some of Billings' most traveled streets.
We don't want to take stolen items, we don't want to buy from those kind of people.
Usually brought in here for that quick cash.
Do you ask them where they got it?
If those big quantities, we will ask them as kind of one of those preventative measures. And obviously, if they start getting fidgety, or a common one is I'd found at my grandpa's barn.
In good faith, Pacific Steel checks for ID and tracks every item.
We try to combat it the best we can, but at the same time, we can't question every customer what they're bringing in.
You might think such a petty crime would be easy to crack.
It's not serialized. It's been stripped from, the plastic cabling that would help identify it.
And because the amount of copper caught at a time is usually so small, officers are bound by the constraints of the law, handing over only a misdemeanor citation with the hope the suspected thief will show up in court. Instead, what police say is the biggest loss:
quality of life offenses. Streetlights that aren't working. You have facilities that don't have power anymore. It's much like the broken windows theory. Graffiti in a neighborhood.
A big flag.
So Heath finds himself still watching closely.
Once again, very industry specific.
For those red flags.
And police say there is a reoccurring theme when it comes to crimes like stealing copper wire, all of it relating to the drug scene in Billings. And police are searching for answers tonight after someone found a body on the property of a Missoula bank early this morning. Missoula police say the body was found off Brook Street on the First Interstate Bank property. Someone working on the property called the discovery in. Police say the body appeared to have been there for some time. The coroner is now working to identify that body. A new dairy processing facility may be heading to Great Falls. The facility would process milk supplied by local producers into a variety of cheese products. Big Sky Cheese is eyeing the property, the Madison Food Park property that is. The proposal was submitted to the planning board just last week. Well, still to come on tonight's MTN 9 o'clock news, preschools left out of the budget this legislature, and tonight reaction from those who work in those schools. And Bob McGuire is talking more snow for April. Your full statewide forecast is right after the break.